my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Jess. Today, as you guys can tell from the title of this video, it is going to be our very first comic corner. Comic corner is actually an idea that my husband had, and I'm really excited that he thought of it. It is essentially where I read and review comic books, because I feel like when it comes to reading them and reviewing them, it needs to be done a little bit differently. Because obviously comic books are a new thing to me, and I kind of wanted to involve you guys in my journey, as well as they're very different to review because you have to kind of include art style and, you know, the dialogue, because there's a ton of dialogue within comic books. And so I wanted to make it sort of a separate review that I do on my booktube channel. So today's comic book, the comic book that we are going to be reviewing, is Shudder. I read this recently. I will leave down below where you guys can pick this up, but this is volume 1. This is, I think, like the first 5 or 6 issues of the comic. So this comic book actually does follow our main character, Kate. Her father is an explorer, and she's kind of exposed to that when she's a lot younger, and then her father actually dies, and she tries to continue to have sort of like a normal life. She gives up the exploring because something very traumatic happens. Obviously, there's a lot more information on how her father died that kind of shapes the story, and I won't go into that just to avoid spoilers. But I really liked this book. The book kind of takes off when she is visiting her father at his gravesite, and a bunch of people actually show up to kidnap her. And the reason why I love this book so much is because, as you guys can tell, I'll kind of show you the back of it, there are a ton of different races in this book, ton of different kind of like animal races and alien races, and she sort of lives in an alternative New York, and I really liked that. I think that was one of my most favorite parts of this book, was all of the different types of people that inhabit this town, the city that she lives in, this world that she lives in. It is kind of like a futuristic sort of book, and I really liked it. I just also really liked the storyline. I thought it was really interesting. I don't want to go too in depth on kind of my favorite parts of it because I don't want to give too much of the story away. And then I also really enjoyed all of the characters, like the main characters, like her roommate Elaine. Elaine is my favorite. Elaine is actually a transgender girl, and I really loved that. I thought that it was just so realistic for like a futuristic world. No one looks at kind of like race or anything like that. Another point that I really liked about the story is Kate. Kate herself is both broken and badass at the same time. I feel like she's really just there to get stuff done, and when all of this stuff starts happening in the story and more information is kind of shown to her, you know, she picks not to run away. She kind of goes home, back to their old home, and kind of just like takes everything in, and I really enjoyed that. I thought the story was really interesting. I thought the characters were really interesting. I like that it is more of an adult comic. This is not like child friendly at all. There is murder and other things in this, but I really liked the story. So I did end up giving this comic book 5 out of 5 stars. It is probably my most favorite comic book I have ever read. I feel like it may be hit or miss for some people because the art style, but I actually enjoyed the art style. I thought it was done very well. It has sort of a grittiness to it, and I think that's what I loved the most about this. I loved the grit. I don't like comic books that necessarily, I like really bright and colorful comic books, which this one definitely is, but I don't necessarily like ones that look too well drawn in a way. I really like this. It seems more hand drawn, and I think that's why I love it so much. But yeah, so that is Shudder. If you guys are interested at all in picking this up, like I said, I will leave like an Amazon link or, you know, something down below where you guys can buy this, but I would definitely recommend it. I thought that it was very interesting, and I really enjoyed the storyline. And the only thing I will say that I do not like about this comic book is that I don't own volume 2. I think I have single issues from here on out, but I don't own the second one. But either way, I'm going to continue with this. This is something that I have fallen in love with, and I will continue to read in the future. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video, for our very first comic corner. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like this series idea. I'm just one of those people who doesn't know a whole lot about comic books, and I wanted to kind of start this journey. Now, a lot of the comic books that I have are ones my husband has recommended to me, that he owns, that he really enjoyed, but he's been 100% right so far that I was going to absolutely love the ones that he has recommended. So I'm really excited to start this because I know, as somebody who doesn't read comic books, how scary and hard it can be to get into new ones, and I kind of just want to be the guinea pig here and try out a bunch of different ones and see which ones are worth it and which ones I didn't really enjoy. But if you guys have any comic book recommendations down below, especially for hidden gem comic books that don't get a whole lot of love, because I don't feel like Shudder got a whole lot of love, leave it in the comments down below because I would love to read those and add those to my TBR. But yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!